another episode of Off the Bench podcast, man. And we had some good day of basketball, good playoff basketball games had came on today. You know, New York Knicks, they Eastern Conference semifinals against the Indiana Pacers. Game one, they was today. We also had game two of the Denver Nuggets. Went just came off. I think it's still fourth quarter in that game. I think the game still might be going on, but the game is basically over. And man, we just gonna go ahead and get right into it, but right before we go ahead dive into the game actions and how I think the series gonna go ahead turn out and everything like that. Y'all go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for sure. But let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Game two, Minnesota Timberwolves, they came out right now. They putting the B down on them. First and foremost, they putting the B down on them. They showing them why they had the best defense in the league, and all they doing all this without Rudy Gobert. Now the Minnesota Timberwolves, they came out in game two with a different type of approach. They came out and set the tone defensively with the type of a certain level of physicality that they came out that the Denver Nuggets just didn't couldn't match that type of intensity that they was playing with on the defensive side of the ball. And I think it kind of messed them up with a different match, a different look. We have instead of having Rudy at the five and just kind of clogging the paint, they went more of a five out system where now you putting Nikola Jokic in more ball screen action, put him in more lateral movements, pause. But you making him make him can play defense. You put them in a lot of actions and making them work on the defensive side of the ball and not bailing them out. You had a big night from Nas Reed, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Ant gonna do what he do. Carlton Towns, he started off the game high. Jay McDaniels, he doing his thing on the defensive side of the ball. Just the Minnesota Timberwolves right now, they just looking like a complete organized team right now. They looking like a complete unit. They shutting down guys. They defending at a high level. They just got so much size, youth, athleticism on their team. And right now, man, they just playing together. They looking real connected. Um, and they look scary. Now in these first two ball games, from why they just looking, and they went and they doing all this on the road too. They went into their trap, took over their trap. Now they finna head back to the crib. Now the series is over. Point blank period. The series is over. I think what the only thing now is just can the Denver Nuggets make this just can they win a game? Can it not be a sweep? Because this series is definitely over. You dropped two at home and the second game it was a beat down from start to finish. And I think the Minnesota Timberwolves they kind of snatched they souls in this game. Kind of took their chains. You just didn't see that competitive spirit from the Denver Nuggets that you thought that you would have seen from the reigning defending champs. You know, I don't know. But them young boys in Minnesota, they ain't playing. They ain't playing with nobody. And they doing it one through 10. It ain't just Anthony Edwards. It ain't just Karl Anthony Towns. Like I said, Rudy Gobert, he didn't even play tonight. So and he can cause different type of matchup problems for you defensively and offensively. Being that big body. He already a four-time defensive player of the year, so I ain't got to speak on what he bring defensively. But you get Nas Reed, six man of the year, and deservedly so because these first two games in this series, he been balling. The first round series against the Phoenix Suns, he didn't have the best of series as he would have liked put up the numbers, but he bouncing back for sure. Having a huge series and definitely a game tonight, 4 for 5 from 3-point line, putting pressure on the rim, a lot of block shots. I thought, man, hey, the team just a complete unit right now, and they just looking dominant. And that's what's making Minnesota kind of look scary. Where you can look at this team, and be like, man, they can go all the way. Because when you look at championship teams and how they perform in the playoffs, they they don't play with their food. They go ahead and take care of business, and that's what they doing. They not coming in to play with nobody. They're not coming in to, lollygag. They coming in to take care of business and gonna get you out the way. They swept the Phoenix Suns round one, went into Denver Nuggets in their home court, took both games, heading back to Minnesota, looking to go ahead and close it out right there. But for the Denver Nuggets, man, I don't really know too much to say. Jamal Murray, he just don't look 100%. 100%. He just don't have that type of burst and pop that you looked at Jamal Murray previously had. Even in the Lakers series, he just didn't look 100% healthy, but they just didn't have a type of matchup. But the type of, you getting a different type of look with this Jay McDaniels. He's 6'6", 6'7", long, athletic, young. Anthony Edwards, who physical, 6'5", 6'6", gonna be physical with you on the ball. And Nikhil, he coming in off the bench. Nikhil Alexander Walker, 6'5", 6'6", another long, athletic body. Then you got all this Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Nas Reed at the rim, affecting all these shots. So Jamal Murray, they not making it easy on him. Nikola Jokic, he tried to start off the game with Rudy Gobert. With him being out, he looked like he tried to be a little bit more aggressive, look for his offense early on. Right off the bat, Minnesota started sending, double teams, making somebody else other than Nikola Jokic beat them. And I just think that's what's the difference. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they executed the game plan without Rudy Gobert. What they said, we're gonna double team Nikola Jokic because we know he's gonna try to be more aggressive, put Cat in foul trouble, try to get him in foul trouble. So we're gonna make sure we double him. And every time he tried to get it in that post up, we're gonna double. But we have to make sure that we helping each other out on defense on the backside, make sure we scrambling. And they just look well connected today. And they just checked all the boxes, which resulted into a dominant performance in today. But yeah, game two. 2-0, heading back to Minnesota. Game three. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all think Denver make this a series or not? I think it's definitely over. I think maybe they can get a game, but this series is over. Yeah, it's over. Especially after this game, we just took the hearts out of them. You just look emotionally, the body language from the Denver Nuggets, from Jamal Murray, from Nikola Jokic. Every time you look up, they doing all this crying. They do all the crime. What the baby gonna do? You know. But enough on that series. Moving on. We got New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers, game one, Eastern Conference semifinals. And Indiana Pacers, man, they dropped one. Definitely could have stole the game on the Knicks home court. They let one slip away from them. And once you get a type of contributions from from T.J. McConnell, Miles Turner, you getting the type of production from Neesmith and Pascal. You know what he gonna do. But man, can y'all please tell me what is Tyrese Halliburton out there doing? He out there doing a whole bunch of nothing. Now I understand that he played a point guard position and he's supposed to be this quote unquote traditional point guard. And man, all that go out the window when it come playoff time. You supposed to be the franchise player. You supposed to be the best player on the team. We expecting you to put up points. Forget all them assists. We don't care, man. Stop passing. We want you to get some buckets. And when we need you to score, that's what we calling on you to do. I just think throughout this whole playoffs, we haven't seen Tyrese Halliburton be that stupid, taking that next level into stardom, into being that. We just haven't just seen that type of it factor from Tyrese Halliburton. He averaging about 14 points a game. Obviously, 9 assists with him being a point guard, which is cool. Can we get that point total up a little bit? Can we get 20 and 9, 21-9? Uh but I just think that's gonna be the main key, especially you going up against a gritty, grimy team in a New York Knicks. You're gonna need more than just you're gonna need your best player and Tyrese Halliburton to be the best player. I have yet to see Tyrese Halliburton in these playoffs, in the 7 games that they played, in the 6 games in the first round against the Milwaukee Bucks, in the 1 game today. I have yet to see Tyrese Halliburton being the best player for the Indiana Pacers, which supposed to be coming into this season when they drafted him, traded for him, and did all this. That was the whole goal for him to be the best player. And I can't. Hey, if you were just to tell the blind eye, a random person on the street, you took the names off the back of 'em and you asked who was the best player, I guarantee they couldn't. They wouldn't point out Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know what he got going on, but he definitely need to get it together. You need to lock in. Uh, but for the New York Knicks, this was a good win for them. Jalen Brunson. Now, throughout these playoffs, I was already a fan of Anthony Edwards, but it's a couple of these, a lot of these young teams as we seeing the older guys leave out. We seeing the kind of the new generation kind of what's the we kind of seeing the younger generation kind of take over now. We kind of seeing them get they spotlight on, get the showcasing what they can do on this stage on this type of platform on the playoff level. And man, Jalen Brunson, Paulo Banchero, obviously Anthony Edwards, those just guys, now after just seeing these playoff series, these playoff runs from those guys, they done made a fan out of me, especially Jalen Brown. With the type of narrative, like I said, coming in, they said, "Can they win? Can you win with with an undersized player, with an undersized point guard?" Outside of Steph Curry, we have yet to see that happen, and that was a lot of noise coming into the season with the New York Knicks. Obviously, because he is the head of the snake over there. With Julius Randle going down and all this, they can Jalen Brunson do this? Can Jalen Brunson do that? Can Jalen Brunson do this? All I know is the last four playoff games that Jalen Brunson has played, he done dropped 40 or better. Now, I don't know what y'all want to say about that, but that boy, he balling. He hooping. He just knocked off the 76ers. He averaged 35 and a half points in that series. He came back and just to show y'all it wasn't a fluke. He really liked that. The boy hooping. He putting on for New York right now. He got New York on fire. You got Stephon Marbury, Walt Frazier, Tracy Morgan, all the Fat Joe, all them at the game celebrating. Got them proud of New York right now. Proud of the New York Knicks, which rightfully so. Like I said, Jalen Brunson, he doing his thing right now. And I understand Anthony Edwards doing his thing right now, but when it comes to talking about being the best player right now in the playoffs, you can't definitively say that Jalen Brunson ain't right there with Anthony Edwards and being the best player. 35 and 35 and a half points in a game, playoff series, nasty. Four straight. You just broke the Knicks with all time organization record, franchise record in points, passing Patrick Ewing, passing Walt Frazier. Legendary status right there. That I think he just joined Michael Jordan and all those guys for having the most consecutive 40-point games in the playoffs. That's elite right there. And it's all coming from an undersized guard that y'all say that they can't win with. But he also got a few contributions from Josh Hart. Shout out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart, he the smallest, biggest player on the court. That boy 6'5", but he play like he's 7'2". He gonna come up with 16 rebounds every game. He contributing, shooting the ball well, efficiently from the floor. Got to cut down on the turnovers a little bit. I understand, and that's what kind of making this the offense look a little monkey too without Julius Randle, because you got to rely so much on Josh Hart being your second guy or Dante DiVincenzo being your second option on offense. Being trying to be your primary scorer and facilitator, which sometimes it can get kind of rough. I could say the least without Julius Randle, because obviously you gonna throw all type of schemes and type of double teams and all type of coverages at Jalen Brunson, try to slow him down. So, but Josh Hart, he been doing his thing, knocking down open shots, rebounding. He had 24 and 15 again today. We know he gonna be physical on the defensive side of the ball, be tenacious on the defensive side of the ball. Dante DiVincenzo, it just those Villanova guys. That trio right there. Hey, they put on. He hit a big shot. Dante DiVincenzo, he hit the big shot after Jalen Brunson. They tried to trap Jalen Brunson. He hit the big shot to kind of make it, go and seal the deal. There was a big time win from him. Uh, I definitely think this gonna be a good series. Like I said, Indiana, they had a chance to steal this game right here. Let them slip away. If your best player was the best player, maybe I'll be talking about how Indiana Pacers, how they look good. How TJ McConnell, these last two games, the closeout game against the Milwaukee Bucks, he had a double double with 20 and 10. He followed this game up with another 20 ball. He hooping. I think the Indiana Pacers, they is a more deeper team. They can got guys like Obi Toppin, Neesmith, Nemhart, Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, whenever he decide he want to be able to play basketball for real. Pascal Siakam. Um, they got TJ McConnell. They got numerous of guys who can produce, on like a 1 through 10, which on opposed to New York Knicks, you getting doing a lot of heavy lifting from three guys. Jalen Brunson, He doing a lot of backpacking. Last 4 games, 40 or more points. That's a lot on his body, a lot of toll. But I feel like this game, it seemed like he had to work a little harder because, like I said, he had to exert more energy because the way the Indiana Pacers play, they like to get up and down the court on makes and misses, so which can kind of speed the tempo up, with kind of making their style of play kind of different. The New York Knicks, I feel like they is more of a half court team. Um, they like to play in the half court. They like to slow the game down. Which the Indiana Pacers, they like to get up and down. So that means more shot attempts, more opportunities on the offense side of the ball. That means there's gonna be more opportunities on the defense side of the ball. It's just gonna make you work a little bit more. Obviously, he only shot with 25 shots, which is cool because the usage rate. But him being a point guard as well and running off those screens and also running on the defenses closeouts and all that. And that could take a toll over the course of a series. But yeah, it was a good game though. A good night of playoff basketball. Well, the second game wasn't too much. That Denver game wasn't too much, but that East, the Knicks and Pacers definitely came down to the wire. They're gonna be a fun series. 'Cause like I said, those two class of two different styles. And styles make fights. Uh, I'm curious to see if Jalen Brunson can keep this up. 'Cause like I said, if I had a vote. A lot of people gonna say Anthony Edwards because he the hot name right now. But once you look at what Jalen Brunson doing for the New York Knicks, single handedly, 4 straight games with 40 plus points, single handedly willing his team for him to be that type of undersized guard, like everybody said, that type of narrative was around him. You know, I have to give him. He been the best player so far in the 7 games that I've seen from him. He been the best player. That's a good sample size. Anthony Edwards, he played. It will be his 6th game today. I don't think his numbers in the first series he averaged 31, 5 and 4. Jalen Brunson, he half his size. He averaged 35 and a half, almost 36. Really, for round up, that's 36, 36, 9 and 3. You know, That's pretty decent to me. Jalen Brunson, he putting on. But man, y'all comment who y'all put in the comment who y'all think gonna win this series though. Who gonna win game two? Game two will be played. What's it? It will be played Wednesday. We got Dallas and OKC tomorrow, right along with the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Boston Celtics game one. Y'all let me know who y'all got in there. We're gonna be discussing that tomorrow after those games. So y'all just gotta make sure y'all subscribe and make sure y'all head over to Spotify, Apple Music. Make sure y'all go over there and run those streams up. If you don't want to be on YouTube, we is now on all audio platforms. We is now getting it going. We is lit. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Um, and this all I got for this episode. You know, uh, good basketball from the New York Knicks. From what I can't really just pick a definitive winner from what I seen in game one because I feel like this series can definitely go either way. I think it's going the distance. I'm for referencing from the Knicks and the Pacers series because, like I said, that Denver Nuggets and Minnesota, that's good. That's good and over. We can go ahead and wash our hands with that, but the way they just look lifeless and all this, like I said, without Rudy Gobert, and he just caused so many problems on defensive side of the ball, just being that shot blocker and rim protector. So if they ain't have no chance tonight, they ain't got no chance, ever. So maybe they can get a game, but that series is over. But the Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks. That's a 7 game series, and we're gonna be in for a good one right there. Right along with I think the OKC Thunder, Dallas Mavericks. I think that's gonna be a good 6, 7 game series. A lot of shot making, a lot of offensive talent on display in that series. And yeah, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, uh, and we out.